it's about time we do a magic trick. So all I'm going to have you do is select a card at random by calling out stop. So let's say you called out stop maybe there. That means this card right here is going to be yours. I just need you to memorize that, and we're going to lose it somewhere back into the middle of the deck. But just like that, your card is now on the bottom. Now this move is called Kelly's bottom placement. So all you have to do first is know how to dribble, and that is the only prerequisite to this move. So if you don't know how to dribble, or at least riffle through the cards and pick it up like this, then I'd make sure to check out the dribbling tutorial that I've linked in the description below, so you can know how to dribble cards and make this a lot easier on yourself. But if you wanted to, technically speaking, if you haven't learned that yet, you could just riffle through the cards and then pick up where that is. So all you have to do for that is just riffle down with your thumb. I'd be in mechanics grip with my index finger on top, 3 fingers down the right side, and your thumb along the left long edge. So you can riffle down with your thumb. Personally, I like dribble. It looks a little bit more flashy, and it sets up the next move a little bit easier, because the Kelly's bottom placement move needs your top hand to be in this position anyways. Let's say you dribbled or riffled down, doesn't really matter. Now you've picked up right here at the 4 of clubs. So you have the 4 clubs, and your 3 fingers are already on the bottom because of the fact that you were just dribbling the cards, right? So you're dribbling the cards, your 3 fingers are already along that short edge. Now, as I'm turning it over, I'm going to shift my fingers, because originally they were closer to the edge of it. I'm going to shift it to where now they're farther down. This is going to be a big important piece, because what's going to happen is those fingers are going to have to come into contact with it, right? So this is where they would normally be. I'm then going to shift it, that way they're now much farther off that edge. So then I'll turn it over. You'll then see the 10 of diamonds, and then as I'm turning it now, you can no longer see that back part of the card. It's now underneath my hand. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking these 3 fingers, especially my pinky and my ring, and I'm going to be pulling back on this card. This is a bit of an extreme version. Really, you just have to get it to about here, just enough to be able to fit the rest of this packet underneath there. So this is how it should look in real time from the side angle. You would then have it here. You'd show them the card. I'm then going to pull it back, and then you can just slide this in. Now, once you have this bottom part here, you can then close that up, and the card is on the bottom. But there's definitely a few flaws that I see a lot of people make when performing this move. One thing especially is that they start pulling this too early. So if they're pulling this too early, what ends up happening is you take it here, and then you start to see my fingers move too early, right? What you don't want to see is that card move or my fingers move. It should look pretty well clean, even from the front. So my finger should be here. This little movement isn't going to make much of a difference, considering your bigger movement of your arm and your hand is going to mask the smaller movement of these couple of fingers. So what should happen is just go here, and then I just did the move, right? So you see my pinky come out a little bit, but that's really the extent of it. Now, the last thing that you want to do and make sure that you're not bleeding on this is when you put it in, now you have it where you have that 1 card underneath. You don't want to have this card so far forward, right? Because if I were to let go of this, even though it's actually lined up from the top, from this side, you can see it a lot. So if you actually back it up a bit, it's actually not even going to matter anymore, right? So the way that works in actual real time is when you dribble it, you take the card, and now once you actually put it underneath, these fingers on my left hand now, my middle ring and index finger, are actually going to pull down on this card a little bit. Now you're not going to pull a left, because if you pull left, then you're going to see it over here. So you'll want to pull down, maybe even a little right, technically speaking. So again, you have this card here, and you're going to pull down. So all this back corner, back here, this is all going to be covered by your hands. So you don't even have to worry about that. But now since it's all the way back here, you can square it up and not risk having this part happen in this corner over here, because that's the part where most of the time where I see somebody flash. So then you should have it all cleaned up, and now at that point you can go into whatever routine you want with your card already on the bottom. Now personally, one of my favorite routines to go into after that is a 3-packet liar's routine. So I'll show you how that works. You can then have anyone select a card, and you use the Kelly's bottom placement to get that to the bottom. Now I'll let you pick up into 3 packets, and I'd ask you to lie to me all 3 times, right? So you're going to tell me no when I ask you on each one of these packets, is this your card, right? So I'd say, is this your card? You'd tell me no. It doesn't matter if it's your card or not, I need you to tell me no. So I'll take your card, put it down. Second time, is this your card? You'd say no. I take that card, I put it down. Third time, show you the card, you'd tell me no. I'd put it down, and all 3 times I'm now satisfied. So then I'll ask you to name a card, or name a number from 1 to 10. Let's say you said 4, then I can go 1, 2, I can go 3, and then 4. And then your card should be here, when they think it'll be here, all using that same principle of this pole here. So if you are wanting to learn that trick specifically, I will link it up here on the screen so you can check that out. And if you're wanting the cards that I used in this video that were actually used in the Now You See Me movie, you can check it out right up here.